context menus, or as they're called by probably 99% of the people in the world, the right-click menus. Obviously, this is an integral part of many applications, and yes, you can for sure create your own right-click menus and assign them to almost any Q widget. The process is similar to that of assigning menus to the Q system tray icon, but there are a few more things we need to do in order to make our context menu work. Before we begin, we need to select the Q widget we want the context menu to appear on. I have selected our Q progress bar here. If I right-click the Q progress bar, nothing happens. Well, that's because, by default, Q progress bar has no context menu. Contrary to that, I can right-click our Q line edits here, and you can see that we do have a default menu with some actions built in. While we can most definitely override these built-in actions, I'd still prefer we dealt with Q progress bar at first. Let me close this application and hide this part as well. Now, the first thing we need to do for our progress bar is override its context menu policy and set it to custom. We can do that by simply typing self.progressbar.setContextMenuPolicy and then call custom context menu from the Qt namespace. Then we need to connect the custom context menu requested signal to our own handler, and I will write this part out, the connection part, and then create the custom handler method in just a second. So we can call self.progressbar.custom-context-menu-requested.connect let me call my handler show context menu. Speaking of the handler, I need to create it, so let me do show context menu, was it? Now, before I go on, you may be confused with this position argument here. Where does it come from? Well, it comes from the signal. Recall from the first part of this course that signals or events can easily carry parameters. We'll use this position parameter in just a second. First, we need to actually create a new menu, and this menu will have just one action, reset. This action will obviously reset our Q progress bar back to 0. To create a new Q menu, pass self as a parent, create a new Q action called reset, also pass self, and add that Q action. And in the Q system tray icon video, I used the Q actions method because I had several Q actions. In this one, however, I only have one, so I'll just use the add action. In this case, just pass the reset action. Let's also connect our reset action to a progress bar's built-in handler called reset. Let's say reset.triggered.connect self.progressbar.reset. Okay, we have our menu defined, but we're not really calling the setContextMenu method anywhere, are we? Well, we're not, at least not directly. The custom context menu requested signal takes care of that for us. Now we just need to make sure our menu pops up. To do that, we call menu.popup method, which takes a set of coordinates as an argument. We can obtain these coordinates by calling a map-to-global method of our progress bar and passing our position argument that we received from our signal. We can do all that in just one line. So I'll call menu.popup self.progressbar.map-to-global and pass the position argument to it. Okay, this was a bit more work than the Q system tray icon, but let's test it and see how it works. Run the application, have the clouds, we have the notification, and if I right-click our Q progress bar, I have our reset action. I can click the reset action, and you can see that our progress bar resets back to 0.